everybody. Today is for 7th time that we are reading Anne and the Green Gable by Lucy Maud Montgomery. So, I think you guys all know about the story, right? And today, we're going to read chapter 8 and 9 for sure. So, how's the story going for this? But we're going to read chapter. Chapter 8, A Long Lost, A Kindred Spirit. Well, how did you like them? Said Marilla. Anne was standing beside her bed, looking at 3 new dresses. They were so plain, no puffy sleeves, bright colors or full. I try to imagine that I like them, she said. I don't want you to imagine, said Marilla often. I can see you don't like them. What's the matter? Are they neat and clean? Of course, said Anne, trying to be kind, but I was hoping for something pretty to wear. Pretty? Marilla huffed. I've no time for pretty, and neither should you. Oh, I'm so grateful. It's only that I'm a little disappointed. Your head is too full of stories, Anne Shirley. You should pay more attention to your real life. Your new dress are just fine, plain and simple. Anne saw the cloth was soft, and switches were perfectly straight and strong. I'm sure I love them with me, Anne said. She gave Marilla a small smile. Marilla sighed. Get dressed now. We'll go to Barry's after breakfast and dishes are done. Finally, Anne would meet Diana, who, she was hoped, would be her best friend. Oh, Marilla, I had no idea I would be this nervous. Anne's mind was racing. What if she did something wrong? She didn't want to embarrass Marilla. And what if Diana didn't have an imagination, or they had nothing to talk about? Anne couldn't help thinking about all things that could go wrong. I've been waiting for you so long, she said. I'm scared that it wouldn't be wonderful. Anne Shirley, Marilla said sternly, why don't you just go and wait to meet Diana and not to worry soon? Diana is a nice little girl. Just remember that her mother is very strict. She's not one for silliness. Marilla's word only helped to make Anne more nervous. They walked the rest of the way in silence. Mrs. Barry met them on the front door and the cheerful, Good morning, Marilla. And this must be Anne. How do you do? Anne shook Mrs. Barry's hands. Very well. And that's the end with an E, Anne said. And she added, Mrs. Barry smiled blankly. Please come inside, she said. Sitting on the kitchen with a little girl Anne's age, she had long, dark hair with brown eyes. She almost nervous as Anne. And this is my little girl, Mrs. Barry said. Diana, would you come over and meet Anne? Why don't you two out and go play on the yard? They waited until they were outside among the roses and before speaking. Oh, Diana, Anne said finally, do you think, could we be best friends? Why, I guess so. I'm glad you've come with me. I'm glad you come to live in Green Gables. It'll be so nice to have somebody to play with. No other girls live so close. We'll promise. Will you promise? Anne had took the Diana's hand. To be my best friend forever? We are sure to be kindred spirit. Diana looked shocked. You sure are strange, she said. I think I'm going to have having you as my best friend. Diana laughed. And this is chapter 9. the delight of anticipation. It was a lovely August morning that when Anne ran into the kitchen. "Oh, Marilla, you never guess what is going to happen." Marilla put down the jars and cleaning the look at the end. "My word, what has you worked up? There's going to be a Sunday school picnic." Anne clapped her hands and danced around the kitchen. "We're all going to be Barry's farm, and there will be boats of Lake Shining Water. And can you believe it? We're having ice cream. I never had ice cream." "Oh, do calm down." Marilla put her hands on her hips. "All this jumping around and giving me headache." Anne stopped in her tracks. "Marilla, I just remembered. I'm going to bring basket for baking, but I don't know how to bake." Marilla looked at Anne, who was suddenly so distraught by prospect of baking. "Don't worry, I'll set up baking in a nice basket for you." A Sunday school picnic was a good, 'cause after all, Marilla said. And just as suddenly a girl was happy again. She ran to Marilla and planted a big wet kiss on her cheek. "Oh, thank you, she cried. "Life is so wonderful since I came to Green Gables." It should be noted that this was her first kiss to any child unwillingly placed to Marilla's cheek. She could say nothing as Anne skipped out to the kitchen. It was hardly enough to try to stop her tears. But, wait a minute. I think we can... Okay. We'll read chapter 10 too. Anne's confession. A few days before the picnic, Marilla came into the kitchen with a frown on her face. She found Anne shelling peas. "Anne," she said certainly, "have you seen my brooch?" "Your brooch, Marilla?" Anne looked up her words. "Yes," she responded. "A pearl brooch that was my mother's. Have you seen it?" And looked back down. "I saw it this afternoon when was you in town," said Anne a little slowly. "I was passing your room and I saw it on your cushion, so went to look at it." "Did you touch it?" asked Marilla. "Yes. Picked it up and pinned on my shirt just to see how it looked." "You had no right to do sort of things." "Where did you put it?" "Oh, I put it back. I was only in your room for 4 minutes. I promise." "You didn't put it back. The brooch is not on its cushion. It's not in my room at all." And stood up. "I did put back. I remember clearly. I just don't remember whether I stuck a pincushion on the lead or china tray." "I'll go have another look," said Marilla. "If you put down the brooch back, it's still there. If it isn't, I'll know you didn't. That's all." Marilla looked behind the dresser and under the bed and found nothing. She was very angry. How could Anne do this and lie about it? Anne refused to admit that she took the brooch from the room. She insisted that she put right back. "Fine. If that is your answer, you can go up to your room and stay until you're ready to admit your truth." But the picnic," Anne started. "You're not going to unless you confess," Marilla said sternly. "Now, upstairs." Anne did as she was told, for slowed climbed the room. When Matthew came for afternoon tea, Marilla told him the story. She was admiring that butch, and only last week she even asked me if I thought the pearls were souls of lilies. Marilla shook her head sadly. I'm sure she didn't mean to lose it. Likely she took aside and played, won her for finger games and lost. "It just breaks my heart, Matthew. It was my mother's brooch." Now, Marilla," Matthew said, trying to comfort her. The day of Sunday school picnic was finally arrived. Oh my God. Oh my God. She cannot go? Very well, Marilla. I'll confess to the crime. I took your bridge aside. I imagined I was a princess after a ride. I'm a beautiful mare. When crossing the bridge, I noticed how the brooch sparkled in the water. I leaned over and get a better look, and the bridge fell into the water. I'm very sorry, Marilla. I wish I could go back and take it. And said, I'd like you to punish me so that I can get over it, but I'd like to go to picnic. Picnic indeed. That shall be your punishment. And surely you won't be going to a picnic. No, please, Marilla, Anne cried. That would be so awful. It was my first chance to taste an ice cream. You promised me if I confess. That's the reason I confessed. There's no reason you to be plead. You're not going, and that's that. And threw herself onto the bed in the tears. Marilla left the room. She spent the rest of the morning cleaning the house, trying to forget where there was a whooping upset girls and upstairs. She called her down for the lunch, but Anne would not be moved. After eating, Marilla went up her own room and shawl and needed mending. As she took it down from its hook, she noticed some things sparkling. When she turned the shawl over, she saw a pearl brooch dangling over the thread. Oh no. Marilla gasped. I remember now that when I took off my shawl Monday afternoon, I light off the burner for a minute. I suppose the brooch got cotton from it now somehow. Why would she tell me that she took brooch if she didn't? Oh, poor Anne. She must have made up the confession just to go to picnic. She rushed to Anne's room. Anne, she called, get up now. You haven't missed much of the picnic. And looked up and tear-filled eyes. Pardon? Marilla held the birch. I found this in my room, and I should have believed you, Anne. I'm very sorry. Do I really mean that I can go? She jumped like a rocket. Hurry up now. I'll get your basket ready, and then you can leave. That night, Anne returned from the picnic, tired from excitement. She told Matthew and Marilla all the wonderful games that are played in children's she met. Oh, Marilla, the ice cream was so wonderful. There was no way I could have imagined the taste. So this is end of chapter 10. So maybe next time we're going to read chapter 11. Bye-bye.